Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Here at Mad About Skin, we're passionate about helping you to get the most out of your skincare. So if you haven't already, now's a fantastic time to click that link below, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you won't miss out on any of our amazing future content. Now, in today's video, we're going to be doing something that you guys have been pestering me for ages and that is a full review on Paula's Choice. I constantly get asked questions on this channel why we don't feature Paula's Choice more, why I don't mention Paula's Choice, what my thoughts on Paula's Choice, all going to be covered in this video and everything will come to light. But because there are just so many products that sit within the Paula's Choice brand, and I'll come on to that a little bit later, I'm going to do a select edit where I'm going to talk about my 5 favourite products, those that actually are really worth a second look, and the 5 that I just don't think you need in your lives, and the really bad products that you just need to avoid. So hopefully that'll keep this video under 2.5 hours, and hopefully it'll give you a feature and a little bit of an idea about the brand as a whole. So as a quick overview, Paula's Choice started in 1996, so by skincare standards it is an old brand, but really came into prominence about 3 years ago when they did a little bit of a rebranding. Everything got a bit more trendy, everything got a bit more, upscale and a little bit more modern, and then it really just took off online, and it's been a staple in a lot of people's skincare routines for years, but I think now everybody's pretty much heard of the brand. Paula, who created the brand, fantastic esthetician who really just wanted to take things back to basics and work on amazing quality ingredients, cutting out some of the nasties and just having that fantastic quality active ingredients at the forefront of their products. She really led the industry in this. Now you see things today like The Ordinary, The Incliding, all these brands do put active ingredients first, and Paula really was the first one to come up with that. She's now stepped aside, she's sold the money, she's made a heck of a lot of money out of this brand, and she's moved aside to pastures new. So actually she's not involved in the product line anymore, but it does obviously still hold her name. The ethos of the brand used to be, or always used to be, good skin doesn't need to be a luxury. So the idea that you're not paying a huge amount of money for skincare, it's affordable, it's accessible, and everyone can have a gorgeous glowing skin, the skin that we all deserve, but with minimal products, minimal ingredients, and minimal cost, which I think we can all buy into. They've sort of dropped that ethos a little bit now, and they're talking about, they've widened the product range and they've changed everything up, but that was the original ethos of the brand. It's not something, this isn't, just as a, before we get into my amazing products and the ones that to avoid, this isn't a brand I personally buy from that often. I've tried a lot of the products, I've been sent quite a few of the products, I've tried them when I've been in department stores, and I bought a few myself. It's just not a brand that I've ever been hugely impressed with, and I think that comes back to some of the ethos and the ethics and some of the issues with the brand since it was sold by Paula to a multinational company. I think my main issue with them is they have a link with Beautypedia. So anybody that's ever gone online or look at Beautypedia, and it's just a review of, I think they've got like 10,000 products on there where people leave individual reviews, give them star ratings, say what they think and how it worked for them. That's a fantastic online resource for anybody looking into a product, whether they want to buy a product. I used to use it all the time, till I realised it was actually owned by Paula's Choice. And if you go on there, all of the Paula's Choice, bar none, have 5-star reviews. There's no negative comments. Now, that's it's so transparent and so obvious, people. Like, anybody can tell if you don't have a single, not one person disliked your product. Absolute rubbish. Even the best products in the world will have one person, one Poindexter that has something to say about it and will have left a comment. So it seems to me that they were manipulating their own website, which is a trusted source that a lot of people go to for their own benefit, which of course they're entitled to do. It's their site, they own it, they can remove whatever reviews they want, they can put whatever reviews they want on there. It left a very sour taste in my mouth, and I didn't particularly like that. It used to be, another reason I don't usually buy this brand is because previously they were really affordable. I loved their price point. You were talking around the $20 mark. It's about £15 here in the UK. They did a rebranding, everything got modern, glamorous, sleek and fantastic looking, and to be honest, you can't knock them on the branding, it looks amazing, but the prices went up by about 25 to 50% depending on which product. Some of them went as high as going from like $25 to $75. That's like a huge 200% hike. And so it's stopped being an affordable, accessible brand and something that I think is more mid-market rather than drugstore. And I like to pitch my drugstore in these videos. Anyone that's watched this channel before, I like to pitch at the drugstore. And so I think it's lost some of its appeal for me, which is another reason you don't see it. So I think the ethics are a bit dubious, particularly around some of their marketing. I think they've lost some of their values that Paula, and they were fantastic values, Paula really supported at the start. I'm not a huge fan of, and the price isn't that exciting. However, I don't want this to be just a negative rant. I want to draw out some positives, because within any line there are some fantastic products, and that's what I'm going to get onto now. Looking at the positives, the whole line is cruelty-free, which I love. The whole line is alcohol-free, which is fantastic if you want to avoid alcohols. The fragrances are non-existent. The colorants, gone. So this is a real line that takes out some of the things that we don't like or don't usually want to see in our skincare. So that's fantastic. It's a line that's really accessible for people with sensitive skin, which I love. And the price point, yeah, it's a bit expensive, but it's not super expensive and unaffordable. There's still plenty that you can get from it. So I like it. My one criticism amongst the other things, I've got quite a few criticisms, but another criticism is there's just way too many products. Paula had a very simple vision. She wanted simple skincare, accessible and easy to understand, and they had very few but really good quality products within their line. Since it's been taken over, I think there's like 7 different individual product lines within the whole product line, some for dry skin, sensitive skin, aging skin. You've got all of this. Then within that, there's about 15 products within each one. It's way too many to do a whole video on. I think they could edit that down and cut that down a bit and make it a little bit easier to understand. But let's get into the best products. I always start on a high. These are the fantastic products by Paula's Choice. It's got to start. I mean, where else are we going to start? With something I use and have used for many years and absolutely adore and rave about to everybody, and that is the Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. This is a salicylic acid liquid. You wipe it on the skin, your skin feels, you can leave it on, your skin feels instantly tingly, exfoliated, brighter. It's fantastic for blackheads. I get loads of blackheads on my nose, and this just tackles them like that. It is beautiful as a strength, because I love salicylic acid in a 2% strength. I don't think you want it any stronger because it can cause side effects, but any weaker you're not getting those results. So it's beautifully formulated. It's got licorice root in there, which I love for lightening the skin. And I say lightening as in taking out that pigment that can be left behind by a spot or a scar that's healing. Absolutely beautiful. This is sort of like a powerhouse product that just delivers. It delivers. It's got a huge following, cult following online, and I think it's totally deserved. I love this product. It's $30, which I don't think is that expensive for the quality of the formulation and the product. It's safe enough to use morning and night, which I wouldn't unless you have super greasy skin and super acneic skin where it may be beneficial. I'd stick to just using one or the other. I think it could be a little bit too strong for both, but they say it's safe enough to use both if you would like, which is fantastic. And this is their #1 selling product, and I'm not surprised. This is honestly a gorgeous product. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it, specifically for people with oily or acneic skin. Don't use it if you are dry, because I think salicylic acid is just too drying for you anyway. But this is a beautiful product which will deep cleanse, get rid of those blackheads, attack that acne, and just leave your skin looking polished and gorgeous. Absolutely love that. Second of my absolute must-haves, and something I really love, is their C15 Super Booster Serum. Now, they call all their serums boosters. I think that's just a bit marketing. I don't think it's anything particularly different. It's a serum. It goes on beautifully. It's got a stable version of vitamin C at 15%, which is beautiful for getting that gorgeous glowing skin. It'll help brighten and illuminate the skin. I love this product. It's really well formulated. It's a good strength. 15% is not like super strength, that's like 20 plus, but it's also not like the 8s and the 10%. It's a nice vitamin C strength, and because it's stable, it will continue to work all day. And what I love about this is it's formulated with ferulic acid. Anybody that's ever watched this channel knows I love the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic, but that is, I think, $160, something ruinous like that. But ferulic acid works beautifully with the vitamin C to just supercharge the antioxidant potential of the product. This has ferulic acid in, and gorgeous, and comes in at a much more affordable $49. So a really good dupe for the CE Ferulic by SkinCeuticals if you're looking for one. It's like a third of the cost and Really, really good quality vitamin C. I love this. Add it into your skincare routine on a morning because it'll work with your SPF to supercharge your antioxidant routine and really protect you from the sun. It'll then, because it's stable, it'll continue to work all day. By the evening, your skin will be glowing and radiating to the gods. I love this product. Really, 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 really well formulated. Moving on to their Advanced Smoothing Treatment 10%. Now, as you can see, there's kind of a theme here. I think exfoliators are probably their strongest step in their skincare routine as a brand. Every brand has, I think, one step that they do really well. For Paula's Choice, I think their exfoliators are just really, really good and really well formulated. A lot of the exfoliators haven't been changed since, the relaunch, the buyout, the remarketing. With the Advanced Smoothing Treatment, you get a 10% concentration of AHA and BHA acids, but you get so many that sit within that. So in this, you have glycolic acid, beautiful. We've talked about that before. It really just melts the cement that holds the dead skin cells onto the gorgeous skin that sits beneath. I love glycolic acid. Lactic acid, it's a gentle exfoliator, but also a hydrator, which is fantastic. You've got malic acid and tartaric acid, which are both going to lighten and brighten the skin, which is really good. And then you've got salicylic acid. So this is just a powerhouse exfoliator. It's quite strong, so I would caution anybody with sensitive skin to probably stay away from this. But for anyone with normal or oily skin, this is going to be a gorgeous exfoliator that you can use once a day to just take off all that dead skin cells, the pollutant, the SPF, all the things that you just don't need in your life and on your skin. I love, love, love this product. I think it's really well formulated, and I think the price point at $40 is reasonable for the amount of product that you're getting and the quality of the product and what's gone into formulating this product. I think this, you can justify that slightly higher price tag because I don't know any other product on the market which has this beautiful mixture of AHAs and BHA acids all in one. I've talked on the channel before about how often we feel like you can't mix your exfoliating acids. You can, but you should do it in a controlled way where it's already pre-mixed in a solution for you, so in a product already. So this is a great option if you want to have a mixture of AHAs, BHAs and different acids in your skincare. This will be a fantastic product for you to buy and try because I love it. I've used it on and off for the past 4 years, and honestly my skin loves me for it whenever I do. The only thing that stops me is that slightly higher price point, but I always keep going back, and that is a sign of a good product. I love that. Then we've got, I think, a product which is really, really hard to find, and that is a hydrating, and I mean properly hydrating, not surface hydrating, retinol. In their barrier repair moisturizer with retinol. Now, barrier repair and retinol aren't two words that usually go together. Retinol can be quite challenging for the skin barrier, particularly in that sort of first 0 to 8 week period where the barrier can become quite impaired. You get the dryness, the irritation, the peeling. Because this is just packed full of humectants, moisturizers, ceramides, everything your skin needs to reinforce that barrier. You get so few side effects with this retinol. I love it, and I would say it's kind of a dupe for the Incliding retinol, which I love and appears to be sold out everywhere at the moment. So this would be a really good dupe. It's not exactly like for like because that is $9 the Incliding, this is $35, so it's definitely not the same price point, but still it's not break the bank money for a good mid-strength retinol with minimal side effects and maximum performance. I think this is a really, really good product. A lot of retinols claim to be hydrating and claim to be able to offset some of the side effects when in effect they don't. Marginally maybe they do, but this genuinely does that, and I think it's the addition of those ceramides which just take it from a basic product to a game-changing top 5 product, and I absolutely love it. I'd recommend it for anybody who wants to get into retinol, is new to retinol. It is a little bit, I find, a little bit on the greasy side, so if you have oily skin, it might not be the right one for you, but for everybody else, it's a beautiful retinol option. And I overcame the feeling about the greasiness because it did work really well, and so you persevere, and it's a beautiful, beautiful product. Finally, and this is something that's a little bit different. I don't know whether this is makeup or if this is skincare. It's skincare because it's SPF, but it's kind of got a makeup element, and that is the On-The-Go Shielding Powder SPF 30. A lot of the time we talk about having to reapply your SPF during the day, and people keep coming to me and saying, yeah, you've got a full drag face on, you're beat to the gods and your face is looking gorgeous. Why then would you ruin all that makeup, all that work that you've done by slapping a load of SPF on, which is why people don't reapply it during the day. I get it. It's not an easy thing to do, and especially because you don't want to carry around a big, SPF in your tote the whole day. However, powder SPFs are a really good option because they can often, if they're formulated correctly, and this one is, they can actually mattify the skin and act as a bit like a blotting powder rather than feeling like you're putting a caking another layer of SPF on. This is an SPF 30, which I love. It goes on as a thin veil powder. It's finely milled, so you don't know it's there, and it doesn't look cakey on the skin. For me, who gets a little bit greasy, particularly on the T-zone during the day, I just put this on matte to the gods and I look flawless and snatched straight away. Honestly, it just absorbs all that grease that's in the skin and sitting on top of the skin, and it's providing the SPF as well. The only thing I would be a little bit cautious about is we never put enough of this on. The same goes for all powder SPFs. You need to put a decent amount on, so just be mindful that you're applying. But I always say, if you're not reapplying during the day, even if you just put a small amount of this on, it's better than what you're currently doing. So it's like baby steps. So I would get this product and I'd try it out. If you're wondering how to reapply during the day without ruining your makeup, this is a good option. $29 is one of their cheaper products as well, and I think for the formulation and for the applicator, absolutely gorgeous. Comes in a brush, so you just literally just powder it on, throw it back in your handbag and get on with your day. I love this and I think it's a really good product. Peter Thomas Roth do a similar one, which I used to always use, but I think this one is more finely milled, easier to apply, and I think it's less cakey than the Peter Thomas Roth. Also, the brush on the Peter Thomas Roth one gets quite, let's just say, skanky after you've used it a couple of times, whereas this one, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe it feels like finer bristles, doesn't, and it just continues to work effortlessly. So I absolutely love it, and I think it's really worth having a look and investing in if you're unsure how to reapply moisture SPF during the day. So that's my top 5. I think I've given Paula a fair, well, she's not involved in the company anymore, so I've given Paula's Choice a fair hearing there. I think exfoliators is where they really have their standout products. I love that SPF. I think that's really fantastic, but unfortunately with the good, there always has to come with the bad. So these are the products that I would just avoid, and I don't think are worth spending your money on. Some of these might be a little bit controversial, and leave me a comment below if you think I have misjudged a product or you like a product that I don't like. Leave me a comment below and sound off, because this is what this channel's all about, forum and kind of working out what each other's like and how different. Skincare is very personal, it works differently for different people, so I'd love to know your thoughts. So number 1, their hyaluronic acid booster, $36. Now, I don't like this product because it's boring. It doesn't do anything beyond what a normal hyaluronic acid would do, and you're charging $36 for it. Rip off central. Go get yourself the marine hyaluronics by the ordinary, get the hyaluronic acid by the Incliding. What are you doing? Why would you need this? In fact, it's almost a similar price to the NIOD multimolecular hyaluronic complex, which is game-changing with so many different levels and types of hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic compound, sorry. I just think for the extra $4, you might as well buy the NIOD, or if you want to save the money, buy the Incliding. I have no idea why this price point exists and what they're trying to sell in what is a bog standard hyaluronic acid and charging you the earth for it. I hate that, and I think this is the epitome of the increased pricing since the relaunch and the rebranding that I just don't like, and I think it's taking consumers for fools. There you go, I said it, and that's what I think they're doing. Probably never going to get sent products again by this company, but never mind. The second one that I really don't like is the triple algae pollution shield. I'll get my words out. Now, I tried this because I bought this for my own money, and I tried this because Cassandra Bankson, who's gorgeous, fantastic, really talented and detailed YouTuber here, creator here on YouTube. If you haven't, and I'm sure you've all heard of her, she is like one of the idols of mine because she has super acneic skin just like me, and her recommendations are usually so on point. I love everything. She's a trained esthetician, so she comes at it from an esthetician's standpoint, which I love, and just a fantastic channel. So check it out if you haven't. She recommended this. Well, she didn't recommend it. She said it was really good. She got sent it by Paula's Choice, and she loved the product. So that's as close to a recommendation as you're going to get. So I thought, oh, I'm interested, I'll go out. It claims to be able to provide a protective shield on the skin to prevent pollutants and oxidative stresses from touching your skin. Basically just an antioxidant, but a little bit posher, and comes from marine algae. I just really didn't like this. It didn't sink in. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to sink in if it's creating a shield, but it felt like I was wearing a mask all day. I didn't like the consistency of it. I'm not sold on the technology. I think you're better just sticking with a Q10 or another antioxidant. I'm not a big fan of this. I don't know what the point is. It's the only time Cassandra has seen me wrong, so I'm not saying this because it does work differently for different people, I'm sure. And I don't think it was a terrible product. I just don't think for the price that they're asking you to pay at $36, this is worth the price point. And I just get yourself the EUK 134 by The Ordinary. Beautiful anti-pollution, protect against pollution and free radicals. Beautiful product. And that's like $8, I think. I just don't think you need to spend this much money on this. And I wasn't a huge fan of the consistency. Now, third is the niacinamide 20%. Now, be careful here because she does do, Paula's Choice do two different niacinamides. They do a 10% and a 20%. I'm talking the 20%. Nobody needs this in their life. I know it's a little bit of a controversial topic. Certain dermatologists will say one thing, others will say another. Niacinamide works best when it's in a concentration of between 3 and 7%. You can push it to 10 if you want to push it to 10, particularly if you're very oily or acneic. There is no need to go beyond 10%. That's when you're going to start seeing that redness, the irritation, the purging, the peeling, all the nasties that come with niacinamide. I did a whole video on niacinamide, which I will link up there, so check that out if you want a little bit more info on niacinamide itself. But I just really don't think you should be pushing it to 20%, and I don't see the point of this product. I think niacinamide, like a lot of products, start low, you use it. Skincare is a long-term gain, and I just think you need to use a lower strength over a longer period of time than trying to smash it with a 20% and getting all the side effects and nasties that you just don't want. I think it's a bit irresponsible to be doing a 20%, to be honest. I don't see the studies which say a higher rate than 10% is going to deliver improved results and no side effects. I would just give this a firm pass. It's also $36, way too expensive for what it is. A niacinamide, get The Ordinary. It's like £5, $8. Live your best life and do not need this in it. Then we go into the 10% azelaic acid booster, $40. This is on here because it's just not as good as The Ordinary. This is, you're sensing a theme here. I don't want to be like the person that bangs The Ordinary's drum all the time, but I think where you can get something so much cheaper, Paula's Choice isn't doing anything new, and it's charging you a lot more for not having innovation and newness, if that makes sense. You're not getting additional. When I did my NIOD review, I said it was so worth paying the extra money for NIOD because you were getting the additionality of benefit. The formulations were better, the ingredients were better, the results were better. None of these products are any better than, say, The Ordinary or the Inculist, and yet they're charging you 3 times the amount. Not good. Not good. And the 10% azelaic acid booster is just that. It's the same strength as The Ordinary. It does a similar thing. I prefer the texture of The Ordinary, though The Ordinary does have dimethiconin, so it does feel like a smooth and silky texture, which I like, but isn't to everyone's taste. So I can totally understand if some people prefer the texture of this one over The Ordinary, but I just don't think it's worth paying 4 times as much for what is in effect exactly the same products you're getting with The Ordinary. Just no, walk on. Paula's Choice, you're robbing us, and I just don't think it needs it. Finally, their eye cream. I despair that this exists. Now, I know all of you are going to come from me and say, you know, I'm an anti-eye cream, I hate eye cream. I do, I absolutely hate eye cream. It's just overpriced moisturiser. But Paula also agreed with me. Her big mantra and one of her big things, if you ever read any of her books or her journals and blogs that she ever did, was she hated eye cream. She called it an overpriced moisturiser and said there's no need for separate eye cream other than just use your moisturiser and take it up under the eye. Totally agree with that, and that's one of the things that first drew me to Paula. I thought, oh, she knows what she's on about and she's really good. And then she saw the brand, the first thing they came out with was an eye cream. I mean, if ever there was just a, let's totally go against the ethos of the brand to make a few extra coin and to line our pockets a bit more, nasty side of capitalism, that is it. Maybe that's a bit extreme. No, do you know what? It's nasty. It's taking people for fools. People bought this brand because they love Paula and what she stood for. She was anti-eye cream, and you're not telling me that she sat at home slathering on Paula's Choice eye cream. No, not going to happen. I just don't like it, and I think you should never buy the eye cream from Paula's Choice because Paula would not thank you for it, I'm sure. Absolutely hate it, and I hate eye creams in general, but I think this is just insult on injury, awfulness in terms of eye cream. So there you have it. I've done my 5 best, and there are some really good ones, and my 5 worst, and there's some really bad. What do you think, guys? Have I slated any of your favourite products, or have I missed out any of your favourite products? Leave a comment below. I do overall, if I was to summarise my thoughts, I think Paula's Choice is overpriced for what it is. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think it's overpriced for what it is. I think they've taken what were a really strong value set and principles behind branding and sort of tossed them out for the sake of making a bit of extra money. They've jacked the price up when they've redone the packaging. Yes, it's more appealing. Yes, it's more, you know, eye-catching, but the formulations underneath it haven't really changed yet. The prices in some cases doubled, and I just think that takes the consumer for fools. I don't particularly like that, but I do love the fact they're colourant free, fragrance free and cruelty free, which is always a ding 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 on this channel. I love that. I love the fact that they do cut out a lot of things like the parabens and the nasties that people don't want in their skincare. It's very clean as far as clean goes in skincare. I like that. And they do have some really good products. I'd love to know, what are your go-tos from Paula's Choice? Do you think I've been fair? Do you think I've been too harsh? Read me to filth. I'm open to that. I never delete a single comment on this channel. As you can see, if you look at any of my other videos, I want your feedback. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think to this brand. Is it one that you buy from, or is it one that you like to avoid? Leave me a comment and let me know. Wherever you are in the world, guys, I hope you enjoy this video and you'll give it a big thumbs up, which really helps the channel. My Instagram is @skinmad if you want to follow us over on there, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.